Well, hello there, good afternoon to you all. So, I will now came with my review for Fairy Tail Manga chapter 333 called Man and Man, Dragon and Dragon, and Man and Dragon. So, roughly this chapter starts when the last one ended with Natsu and Atlas Flame coming to confront Mothergrea and Future Rogue. And at the start of the chapter, Rogue is kinda admired how can Natsu disturbs his dragon magic that allows him to control and manipulate dragons, and basically the answer that Natsu, I don't know if it's Natsu or if it's the dragon says, is that they become friends, like always happens in fairy tale. It's the power of friendship. So they start the battle, and Atlas Flame kinda goes charging to Mother Grea, and Mother Grea kinda fires up a huge war, and it kinda destroys a wide range area on a mountain or mountains or something like that. And then the dragons kinda exchange some words. Atlas says, "Aha, you cannot damage me because my body is made of flames." And Mother Grey also talks and says that, "Haha, your flames cannot penetrate my adamantine body." Also, so they are kinda tied out in a way, let's say. And then we let Atlas Flame is will be fighting Mother Grey head to head, and then Natsu goes charging at Future Rogue. So, and Rogue is very astonished because Natsu was able to consume Atlas Flames, because apparently, even if he is a Fire Dragon Slayer, apparently Rogue is expecting that he could not eat that flame. So these flames are different than regular flames, I'm guessing, because they call it hell flames, so they are more powerful, more dense, something like that. So Future Rogue was kinda thinking that Natsu will not be able to digest that flames, but apparently he is, and he gets a hell of a power up, and he kinda goes flying and launches a huge punch on Mother Grea, like a meteor impact or something like that, that makes a lot of damages. So then we have a small scene with the king and the soldiers looking to the fight and so on, and the king is quite desperate because he is kind of remembering the legend of the Dragon King Festival, when you have men fighting men, dragons fighting dragons, and men fighting dragons. So uh, he kinda gives up because I don't know what the king knew, but he kinda knew that this event, this Dragon King Festival, usually it changes all, and all is destroyed. So then we have the dragon that is fighting um, Rogue, and he's saying that Rogue cannot defeat him. However, this dragon will spare Rogue, because as the dragon goes explaining, the one alone that will survive this will be Rogue. And Rogue, present Rogue, cannot understand, and the dragon basically explains that the one that gave that orders to him was his future version, and that he will become the king of the world. Rogue, present Rogue, obviously obviously he does not believe in that, but then we see that the shadow that already appeared in the fight against Gagil and so on kinda appears again, talking with present Rogue, and kinda explains that this shadow himself also represents another future, and that this shadow basically represents the shadow inside Rug Heart's Earth. So he kinda does not understand what is happening, and he's kinda becoming depressed and so on. And then Ultear is kinda watching him over from afar, and we have a small flashback about when future Lucy died, and it was Ultiar and Melody that helped Natsu, if you remember. And at that time they were discussing, perhaps due to these problems with time, it's possible that if present Rogue is killed, probably his future version will not exist and nothing of that will ever happen. So, but Natsu kinda dislikes the idea and says that, yeah, future Rogue is guilty, but present Rogue does not did any wrong. Uh, and, well, they do not reach an agreement. And Natsu kinda says that he will beat down future Rogue and will bring peace and so on. But Ultiar apparently she is quite following present Rogue, and then she is watching all the mages and the kills and the battle on the city, and then she kinda decides by himself that probably their hypothesis of killing present Rogue is the best course of action to do. So she kinda on the last page we see her face and her eye expression, and apparently she appears to be quite decided to kill future present Rogue to prevent the appearance of the future version of Rogue. So, well, this chapter was very interesting, and I do like it because we actually, well, we continue to see that, well, the power of Mothergrea, the dragon that in which Rogue was riding, is adamantine. Well, adamantium is, if I'm not wrong, it's a very hard material, a very high resistance material. So apparently, this Mothergrea possess adamantine armor. So probably he possess a great defensive armor on his scales. Also, we learned that the flames of Atlas were hellish flames, so apparently these flames are not regular flames, because if not, why Rogue was so surprised how or how did Natsu was able to digest or use that flames to power himself. So supposedly even a fire dragon slayer will not be able to do it, so it's quite interesting. And by this we see that each dragon, according to their own specific, for instance Mothergrea with his adamantine body, Atlas Flame with his hellish flames and so on, so all these traits represent a different dragon, a different situation with the dragon, like the power behind the dragon slayers. So it's quite interesting to see this. And also another very important thing is the king knowing what is the Dragon King's festival. Uh, I guess the king knows more than it appears. But from what the king hints at, I guess when a Dragon King festival is held, everyone that is involved eventually will die, the area where the situation happened is destroyed and so on, and the future will be different uh, than today apparently. So this is interesting, and it's kind of I do wonder if that is also related with Lumen Histoire, the secret that the master of Raventel Ivan wanted to know, and that special thing that Mavis kinda no Makarov kinda show to Gildarts when Gildart was appointed guildmaster. So Fairy Tale in some way is related with all these. That's my conclusion, or very strong related with the Dragon King Festival, or with another version of Dragon King's Festival. That's my guessing. In any case, I like this chapter. We have a lot more action. We continue to see the fights going on. I do wonder now if Ultear eventually will kill or try to kill Present Rogue or not. She appears to be quite determined to do it. However, the problem is that if in the end she ends up dying herself. But in any case, even if she does try to kill Present Rogue, I'm guessing the dragon that Rogue is fighting probably will try to prevent that, because he was ordered by future Rogue to spare present Rogue for him to become future Rogue. So it's quite interesting, and I'm also interesting to see how Ultear will try to kill present Rogue, and what present Rogue will decide in the middle of his depression, in a way, and what action the dragon that is with present Rogue will do. We also have a small image with Sting fighting, and we see also Cobra between rebels and so on. So the other dragon slayers are fighting, and we also see the other mages kind of fighting their way out with that small dragon man that Mothergrea launched on the town. So this was a good episode. We have action. The fight will still continues and will go on. So, well, this is my review for Fairy Tail chapter 333. Hope you enjoy. Stay well.